Okay, so this video is to explain number 30 on page 192. This one was the problem about the yearbooks. So it says the yearbook staff is unpacking a box of school yearbooks. The arithmetic sequence 281, 270, 259, 248, represents the total number of ounces that the box weighs as each yearbook is taken out of the box. So I'm just going to make a note off to the side that this is number of ounces as each yearbook taken out. So for the first part of this, if you guys remember with the arithmetic sequences, we were able to make a table. So I could make a table where 281 would be the first term, 270 would be the second term, 259 would be the third term, 248 would be the fourth term. And if you guys remember, the term number, we said that was n, and this one would be a sub n. So this would be the value of the sequence for n. So to find the function that represents the sequence, all you have to do is to find the sequence formula. So the common difference here, if you notice, it's going down 11, down 11. So we write negative 11n, and to get the number that's added or subtracted here, we have to go backwards a term. So we have to pretend there's kind of a zero term, and if you add 11 to this 281, we get 292. So our sequence is negative 11n plus 292. So in part A, when they ask you to write a function, we can take this arithmetic sequence and basically write a function for it that is f of n. It basically means the same thing as the nth term number. If you guys remember, function notation means the output for the input n. So this means the output for whatever n value you have equals negative 11n plus 292. So that would be your answer for part A. Part B asks, determine the weight of each yearbook. So this requires you to think about the real life situation. Well, if this sequence represents the weight of the box as the yearbook's taken out, and if I take out one yearbook, the box weighs 281 ounces. If I take out two yearbooks, the box weighs 270 ounces. If I take out three yearbooks, the box weighs 259 ounces. If I have taken out four yearbooks, the box weighs 248. So if you notice, what's happening as I take out one yearbook? As I take out one yearbook, the weight goes down 11 ounces. As I take out another yearbook, the weight goes down 11 ounces. As I take out another yearbook, the weight goes down 11 ounces. So if as I take out every single yearbook, the weight goes down 11 ounces, how much does one yearbook weigh? The answer to that would be the difference. If I take out one yearbook and I lose 11 ounces, well, that means that one yearbook weighs 11 ounces. So your answer for part B would be 11 ounces. And that is the weight of the yearbook, of one yearbook. Part C also requires you to think about it. The question says, if the box weighs at least 8 ounces empty and 292 ounces when it is full, how many yearbooks were in the box? So, thinking about this, if there are 292 ounces for full box and 11 ounces for an empty box, what's the difference between those two? In other words, what's the weight of all of the yearbooks? Well, if you subtract these two, you end up getting 281 ounces of yearbooks. Now, if you know that each yearbook is 11 ounces, can we write an equation that relates 11 ounces to the weight of the yearbooks? So we would say, let X equal number of yearbooks. So you always want to define a variable. And so now, if we get an equation going, 281, our total weight, has to equal 11 ounces per yearbook times the number of yearbooks. This is a simple one-step equation that all you have to do is divide. And if you divide by 11, I don't have my calculator out. 281 divided by 11 is 25.54. So now let's interpret this answer. It's 545. You can't have part of a yearbook. I think the student getting this 0.545 of a yearbook would be pretty disappointed. So if we can't have part of a yearbook, you have to think, does it make sense to round this number up, or does it make sense to round this number down? Well, I can't have part of a yearbook, and I know that the box itself weighs at least 11 ounces. So if I had more yearbooks, in other words, if I had 26 yearbooks, my weight of my box would be lower than 11 ounces, which is not good. So really, we have to ignore this part of a yearbook and say that there were 25 yearbooks in the box. And one thing that could be cool for you guys is, since we learned how to convert, you could figure out this 292 ounces. How many pounds is that? How heavy is the box? That could be an interesting problem to make sure you can review that. So make sure that you can think about what the sequence represents. This constant difference, this common difference, represents something. And so in this situation, it represents the weight of the yearbook.